Over 30 years ago, Mr. Jim Rohn shared 6 words with me that were to change my life forever. And in this video, I want to share with you those 6 words. And I promise that if you keep them in the front of your mind as you go about your daily business, they will make you happier, they will make you happier in your relationships, they will make you healthier. In fact, they will simply improve your life in all ways possible. G'day and welcome. My name is Willem, and on this channel I share the philosophies and the wisdom that Mr. Jim Rohn shared with me over 30 years ago. By consistently applying those philosophies, those fundamentals as he called them, I've been able to live a life on my terms. And I know that if you apply the same philosophies that I share on this channel and you apply them in your everyday lives, you'll be able to do exactly the same. So what were those 6 small words that had such an impact on me? Wherever you are, be there. Now, that may not sound like earth-shattering news to you, but let me assure you it is, because in this very digitally orientated world, very few people are able to be there. Mr. Rohn first came up with the saying because he found that when he was at work, he was thinking about being at the beach with his family. And then when he was at the beach with his family, he was thinking about his work. And he realized it was very unproductive. And I'm sure all of us experience exactly the same situation. I was only out at lunch with Jen just the other day, and I couldn't believe the table next to me was a young couple. Both of them were scrolling through their feeds, their Instagram feeds. I mean, what's it all about? Doesn't anybody be there anymore? In this video, I want to share 3 key areas where I believe it is critically important for you to be there. So let's dive straight in. And if you stay till the very end, I will give you a super bonus tip, which will allow you to be there a whole lot easier. So firstly, be there for your health. Please don't take your health for granted. Now, I know I'm carrying on like an old broken record and probably sounding a bit like a grumpy old man, but I was only reading in the paper this morning that heart ischemia, people dying from heart attacks, has increased by 17%. And really, most of that is diet related. So please, be there for your health. Don't just eat junk food. Don't just eat processed food. Think about what it is you are putting in your mouth. Mr. Rohn said, treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed, a temple. So it's so important to be very clear about what it is you're eating and what it is you're not eating. Now, of course, the other couple of components that deal with your health is sleep. Recent research has proven again that we all need around 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So please don't neglect your sleep. It is so important for your brain to work to its maximum productivity. And the last one is aerobic exercise. And this one again keeps coming up. Because I've got a science background, I always enjoy finding out what the latest research is on health and psychology. And again, it keeps coming up time and time again that aerobic exercise around 30 minutes every day is critical for longevity. So those 3 areas, aerobic exercise, getting enough sleep, and really being there for your nutrition are critical for longevity and leading a healthy life. Now, the second area I would ask you to be there is in your career or in your business. And if you don't have a business, again, I would strongly encourage you to think about it. I remember Mr. Rohn always saying, and I've never forgotten it, he said, profit is better than wages. So if you can find some way to make a profit, I would explore that avenue. We'll talk more about that in future videos. But be there in your career or in your business. And when I say be there in your business or your career, what do I mean? Well, number 1 is do what Mr. Rohn taught me to do. The golden rule is this: do what you can, do the best you can. Don't settle for mediocre. I see this all the time. It just never ceases to astound me how people are prepared to just be average. Now, average is basically bottom of the top and top of the crap. You don't want to be average. To me, that's not the way to live your life. I would strongly advise you to do what you can. Number two, do the best you can. Now, the second part of being there in your business or your career is to concentrate on always developing your skills. Don't settle for where you are right now. I know so many people, they leave university and they think that's it. Education is over. I don't have to do any more. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. I still keep learning every day. I'm always trying to hone my skills. I never want to settle for where I am right now. In this continually changing world, the world that's changing so quickly, it is so important to be keeping up to date with what's coming down the road. I was only talking to a wealth manager the other day, and he was talking about things like decarbonization, electric cars, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things. These are all things that are happening right now and will continue to affect our lives. And if you don't study, if you don't keep up with the latest, you're going to get left very much behind. So please keep honing your skills, keep learning, keep reading in the area in which you work. And the third one is this: go the extra mile in everything you do. It was Zig Ziglar who said, go the extra mile, there's nobody on it. And can I say from personal experience, it is a real key to being successful in either a career or your business. The people that go the extra mile get the attention of their bosses, get the attention of their clients. So those are the three things. If you really want to be there in your career or in your business, keep learning your skills, go the extra mile, do what you can, do the very best you can. Now, before I go to the third area of being there, could you please like this video? And if you find it useful, consider subscribing. Mr. Rohn taught me a lot in the time that I knew him, and I feel it my duty to share what I've learned, what I've experienced because of his wisdom with others. And so I'm committing to one video every week on this channel, and I'm doing that for the next 2 years. So if you subscribe and push the notification bell, you won't miss any of them. Okay, let's go to the third area of being there. And the third area of being there is your relationships. I cannot believe the countless number of times, and I'm sure you're the same, that you go into a restaurant or a cafe and it's amazing, people are simply on their phones, okay? They're photographing food and putting it on Instagram. They're checking their Twitter feed, their TikTok feed, and they're there with someone that's supposed to be important. If someone pulled their phone out while I was having lunch with them or coffee, really what I'm hearing from that is, well, what I'm doing here is far more important than my time with you. So please give people the respect they deserve. Don't take your relationships for granted. The second point I would make with relationships is this: make people feel important. I always remember Mr. Rohn saying, spend more time complimenting others so that you don't need it for yourself. I think that is just such great advice, and it is something I continually try. I was at golf this morning, and Tom, who's a young man, he made my coffee for me. He's always pleased to see me, says good morning. And I remember Tom saying about a week ago that he was going on a tennis tournament. He plays a fair bit of tennis, and I think he's pretty good. He says, I'm at a house today. I'm working till 12 noon, and then I'm going up the country to play in my tennis tournament. I said, well, best of luck with it all. I really hope you do well. Now, normally they make the coffee there and then they call out your name, or they call out a number, or they call out, 2 lattes, come and get them. Guess what? I was sitting at a table with Anthony. We played golf together. He brought my coffees out to me. That's what happens when you take an interest in other people. People respond. They want to do the same for you. So please be enthusiastic. Recognize other people. Make them feel important. And the last point I would say is be enthusiastic in everything you do. You really will stand out from the crowd. You will be the exception. I have mentioned before on this channel, if someone says to me, hi, how are you? Or a shopkeeper says, hi, how are you? I always like to say, or I often say, hey, I am fantastic. fantastic. And you should see the responses you get from that. People often say, "You have made my day." Now, isn't that amazing that you can make someone's day just by being a little enthusiastic? So there's the 3 areas of being there in your relationships. Don't take them for granted. Be enthusiastic, and please make people feel important. It is such an important part of being a human being. Now, at the beginning of this video, I promised you a bonus tip, and this will make you super productive, I promise. The biggest challenge everybody faces, I face it, everybody faces it, is constant distractions. We always have that damn phone around and it's always interrupting our workflow. So here's what I do when I have to write a script for a video or basically do intense work that requires my concentration. Number 1, I put my phone in another room where I can't get onto it, where I can't get distracted. And then number 2, when I get to my desk, I pull this thing out, my hourglass. Now this is a 1 hour hourglass. And when I sit down, I basically tip it upside down and I go, that's it, I am not getting off this desk until all the sand is in the bottom part of this glass. And it's amazing what happens, okay? Often, in many times, I've found that the sand is actually emptied into the bottom and I've been there for another half hour or even an hour because now I'm in a state of flow. I'm on automatic pilot and I just get so much done by putting my phone aside, telling myself I'm not getting out of my chair until this hourglass is finished. So there's a bonus tip. Get yourself one of these, whack it on your desk, and when you've got important work to do, turn it upside down and don't get out of your seat until it's finished. Now, if you found this video useful, I know you would find the other videos that I've done sharing Mr. Rohn's wisdom, and they're available right up there. There's a playlist. I'm sure you would find those really valuable if you believe that being there is important. So please go out there now and be there in everything you do. If you do, you will thank me later.